Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Let It Rip. After a disappointing weekend, we still wanted to come together as the coaching staff and give you guys, the fans, the real perspective, our thoughts, why we did what we did, what happened in the weekend, where we're going to go from here, all that good stuff. So, Harsha, thanks for joining me.
Hello, Jake.
Thank you for having us, Jake.
Yeah, I know you're really happy to be here and have this conversation with me. So let's just jump right into it. But of course, got to give big shout out to HEB and Zenny Gaming for making the show possible, giving you, the fans, the inside scoop. First off, let's just jump into everyone's individual perspective, on the match. What went wrong, I guess?
Dallas was a good team. We're just, we fell short. We did have a confidence going in with what we were doing. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have questions about the comps and kind of stuff. The comps we ran were comps that recently people were experimenting with it recently, and it had a lot of good potentials, and so everyone liked it. And so as you could see in like the other matches, like the Atlanta Hourglass or other teams, a lot of teams are using the variations of that comp, and so we tried to use it in certain aspects. And we also had like a faith in all the individual players playing on their heroes. I believe we have really talented players who can play all those heroes really well. I think it was just our bad on our part, because I think we could have found the ways to execute it better.
For me, it was just what Junk said, basically, like execution errors. I feel like we had a lot of confidence going in, but we got really out-tempoed and I think made uncharacteristic mistakes, and it sucks to lose to Dallas again, but I think that we just have to come in and execute better next time. I think that's all there is to it, basically.
Fair enough. Well, talking about Dallas specifically, seeming to be a really, really tough opponent for us. We did beat them back in the regular season, but now, like, the more they're playing these really fast rush comps, the more we seem to struggle. Like, obviously in our last two playoff appearances, losing to them. From my perspective, Dallas is the style they play, and the fact that they play it really well makes them a very difficult opponent to prepare for. Like in our practice, we're playing these anti-rush strategies, and we're having a ton of success, like winning really confidently against other teams. And then Dallas comes in and plays at a different tempo, stylistically plays it very differently. And then we're just not ready for their adjustments. And we're still playing what was working, what was effective for us in practice. And then because Dallas makes these adjustments and plays the game in such a different way, it just doesn't work anymore. So for our part, I think the way to beat them is to, not just come in with the strategy that we feel can be their strategy sort of on paper, but also the mindset that they're going to be playing it in a different way, at a different tempo, and that we also need to respond to that, whether it's in being ready for their tempo or trying to take the tempo away from them by being more aggressive and forcing our execution first. There's different ways to do it, and that depends a lot on like specific strategies. But I think in the end, we have to recognize that our practice isn't going to be representative of playing the Fuel, because they play that strategy, unlike the other teams that we practice against.
And I think a lot of people were mad that I think they felt that we didn't make adjustments or things like that. But then in the first map, I feel like our mistakes were really obvious to us. And so we still had confidence in our strategy. I don't think that changed. And then after the second map, when we made adjustments, but it didn't help, we didn't end up winning the match. It was still really close on Hanamura, but we didn't end up winning. We just decided to change it up then. So I feel like we did try to respond to that, but maybe it's not apparent in watching the series, I guess.
I still feel hopeful for the rest of the season. And for me, losses here and there, it's not actually gonna make me lose confidence in us as a group. And instead it's gonna just, I think, reinvigorate us and force us to continue to go back, because as much as it'd be nice to go to Hawaii and win these tournaments, and that's what we all want, nothing matters as much as playoffs. For us, I think it's critical we stay confident and that we still have faith in each other as a team. That was one of the things we talked about as a team in our review after the match, is not losing faith in each other, not losing faith in the process. Refining it, doing better, yes, but losing faith, no.
I don't like saying, oh, we're gonna win in the future. We're gonna do. Oh, I don't like making false promises, false hopes. I think we're just here to do. We're just gonna try our best, play the most perfect game that we can possibly play, and I think that brings out the results. And that's the only thing I can promise. That we're gonna try our best and play the best game of Overwatch possible from our ends.
Yeah, I mean, I feel kind of similar. And then I guess the only other thing that I'd have to add is like, I guess the fans have watched us for like 2 stages. They like have seen us have like regular season success, and then they've seen us like fall short in the playoffs. So we know that that's, I guess, an issue, and our next steps are, you know, rectifying that, making sure we come out with like as strong of a performance as we can, because, you know, we're not like happy losing in the playoffs either. Like, that's something we want to solve too. So we'll come out, and that's our goal for the next stage, I guess.
Yeah, what we can say is none of us are demotivated. We're more motivated ever, if not, and also we're still passionate. We still have the drive to do more, and yeah.
We want to go farther.
Yeah.
So obviously, guys, for this tournament, you know, we had the hero pools, which changes the game pretty drastically in a short amount of time. Even compared to like big patches, it's still a much bigger deal, taking heroes off the table completely. So from your guys' perspective, how do you think that affected us? Positively, negatively, you know, up, down, sideways, whatever.
You know, well, hero pools is interesting. It can hurt you, it can benefit you a lot. It can be like somewhat orangey, so but it can spice things up. So I think in the end it didn't work out for us, but hopefully it was entertaining from viewers' perspective. But I think it wasn't the case this time because people are playing a lot of the Winston Rush. But yeah, that's about it actually.
Personally, I think this will sound like kind of like a sore loser, but I really don't like hero pools, because I feel like the game is like fundamentally designed around like and like balanced around like the characters that are in the game, and then when you like remove things, it feels like it just makes the game completely different. So I mean, it's part of being a team and adapting. I think that it's not like an excuse for losing or anything like that. But I just personally I don't like how it changes the game. I feel like it can make the game like really fun to watch, or it can make it really terrible to watch. I think it's been like kind of both this stage because of the comps that people use. Personally, wish that it was just balance changes rather than like hero pools between each stage.
You know, the thing I wanted in the beginning, like before hero pools, what I argued for was an actual like ban phase in the individual matches. So basically removing the ability to have a prepared meta. Well, because you want the perfect strategy, but I wanted to actually remove a perfect strategy so that you're forced to have the ability to play multiple strategies every single game, rather than coming in with a prepared strategy. But that would be such a fundamental and striking change to the game, right? Like,
I'd rather have a hero pool over bans.
Yeah, because it's probably the scariest thing in the world for coaches, where you're gonna have to adapt like this every single match, every single game.
Players and coaches
and it's gonna be different every time.
They'd have to think on the spot.
It would have to be a completely different game, and I think, you know, from my part, it would reward players who are like want to like come up with crazy strategies and execute them on the fly. But, you know, maybe for the viewer experience, it would be a lot less perfection, a lot more, you know, crazy mistakes going on because no one's really prepared for that situation. But so I think in the end you guys are right. There's positives, negatives to hero pools. Looking forward to the next split, you know, on July 9th. Well, I'll just say, you know, keep your eyes peeled. Check out the social media. We've got something big for you, Outlaws fans, but we can't fully announce it yet. So you'll just have to keep your eyes and ears tuned. And see it soon. So for the teams going to Hawaii for this tournament, or of course the APAC teams, you know, playing from their home countries, who do you think is going to take it? What do you think is going to be going down? You know, we have seen like last split, you know, very different metas between the APAC and NA regions. So I'm certainly interested to see, you know, who comes out on top.
For me personally, I think a lot of these tournaments NA teams will actually win. Just because I think both Dallas and Atlanta have like super different styles, and I'm not sure which one will be stronger when it comes to like the global meta, but then I think it's easy to say like Dallas could win because Their tempo is just like no other team right now. So maybe Dallas will be my prediction. But if it's not Dallas, I'll say Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, both Atlanta Dallas are really good. A lot of people didn't expect them to be this good, especially Atlanta. But I think they're both really good teams. They deserve to go there this time. I think Atlanta also got a lot of confidence now. I think that's one of the things they were missing, but now they have the confidence. They beat Shock playing the Rush Mirror as well. I think they might even they can even play it against Dallas too. But I think they also have the confidence in their counter comps, the variations that we try to play. But I think they have their own idea of how to play that counter variations. So it'll be interesting to see. I think they're all really good team. They all deserve to be there. We'll see who comes on top.
I mean, I don't know if I can say it better than Junk. I think it's going to be exciting. You know, both teams from NA at least, you know, riding a lot of momentum and energy right now. Both of them, as you said, are really, really strong teams. And like you said, also Harsha, I expect any region to come out on top. Maybe it's something about just a bigger pool of teams, you know, more data, more experimentation. You know, you maybe end up with more refined vet metas than with a smaller pool. Maybe you get caught in like cyclical metas in the APAC region that don't end up working, you know, versus the NA competition that's playing a bigger variety of styles. Maybe they've seen that style as well, and the APAC region just a little bit harder to experiment that way. So yeah, I also think it'll be Dallas or Atlanta taking it home in the end, maybe even like a top 2 finish for those 2 teams. But yeah, fans will have to watch from home and you know, see what happens in the end. Thanks everyone, thanks for tuning in, especially our live viewers. We really appreciate your support. We'll be back in the action on July 3rd versus the Shock. But in the meantime, please stay close to all things Outlaws. Check out our socials. Keep an eye on our content coming out consistently. We'll be releasing a ton of great stuff and making some big moves coming up very soon. So like I said before, keep your eyes on that social media for potential announcements coming soon. Other than that, peace and love, and we'll see you next time.